Nessa girl. So I just finished watching Married to Medicine for the second time. But I have absolutely no recollection of what the fuck I watched. This episode of Married to Medicine was so motherfucking boring that both times I started playing on Facebook in my phone, and the only reason I looked up is because I heard the outro music. I done fucked around and did this 2 times, and I'll be damned if I watch this shit a 3rd time just to call y'all. You know, Married to Medicine coming off of last season and coming off this first episode, I had high hopes and expectations. This episode, I ain't finna sit here and spend 18 minutes going off about how this was a bad episode, but I know production be looking, purveyors of pop, all y'all girls over there, hey, how you doing, remember me? Yeah, whoever was responsible for this one, they don't need to be fired, but just a little note need to be put in their file that maybe they not ready to lead on a full episode and they need to, you know, kind of go back to support role or support creativity role, because this just was not it. And I'm just like, the whole episode was this whack ass cooking game. Oh God. Married to Medicine, because I haven't reviewed y'all as intimately as I've done Housewives in the past, here's what I'm gonna have to say. Y'all have gotten to that cruise spot, that cruising altitude that Housewives got to a couple years ago, and you've now gotten lazy. God. And I get accused of thinking like a producer all the time, and I get it, y'all. What made the Real World so good back in the day is that it was a group of people put in a situation, they just let the cameras roll, and then they edited whatever was there. Fast forward to 2017, corporations and networks are saying, bitch, ain't nobody finna sit down and go through 30 million hours of footage. So we're going to create situations and reasons for y'all to be together, and then just hope sparks fly. Okay, I don't mind you creating situations for the people to be together, but at least put some fucking thought and effort into it. Like, this cooking shit that y'all did, husbands versus girlfriends, like, and maybe I'm just a hood, ghetto, raggedy bitch that ain't never been exposed and been nowhere. But where in real life would that have happened? And maybe that's why the shit was so damn whack. It was just dry. Like, the entire episode was about y'all frolicking at the Le Cordon Bleu training ground. And it was horrible. But since you introduced us to old high pussy Contessa, let's go ahead and talk about it. Bitch, I should have dipped in my bag of tricks and found my fuchsia high pussy one piece. Oh, Contessa girl, you make too much money to be looking like Elsa from Frozen gets divorced, okay? You look like what Elsa went through after 11 years of sacrifice. And mama says she's still under 40 with no kids, so she want to get her thought on. No, God. Contessa girl, you was auditioning for Married to Medicine, not the Dancing Dolls. Yes, God, honey, Contessa had that old cheap piece of turquoise thing wrapped around her neck, honey, with them old high pussy pants on. We know you got it straight, Contessa girl, and then had the nerve to have the one piece on and it was baggy, girl. We see you! We see you! You can always tell when it's a bitch first season, cause they don't look as glammed and fabulous as the rest of the girls. Why y'all didn't go tell Contessa to do like y'all do? If you gonna wear your own hair, have your stylist put just one track in there so it could give it the illusion of fullness. I'm gonna tell y'all a really quick story. She probably gonna kill me for telling this story. Then I'm gonna get back to Married to Medicine. I come from an era where the rap was king. Bitch, if you could wear your hair in a wrap and your hair was full, then mama, you were the shit. When I came up, my homegirls in high school and college, baby, the AKAs and the Deltas had what we call the Delta Do. They used to go to Kirsten and Company. That shit would be feathered to the gods, okay? The K's had the long hair. They would do like this. There was no such thing as weave, you know, where I came from. And if a bitch did wear weave, it was a microwave ponytail, and quite frankly, and I mean no disrespect, but in the 90s and in the 2000s where I was from, only the raggedy bar-headed bitches wore weave, right? So needless to say, I am partial to women wearing their natural hair. I just am. When I went to record the Candy Factory, y'all didn't see me on there. I was the opening act for 10 weeks. I was upstairs changing, and Derek J was up there doing Candy hair. And I was just rocking with, oh, Candy got this long, full hair. Oh, her hair is so fabulous. Yes, Candy, you don't wear all them weaves. You wear the long, full hair. Baby, Derek J, and listen, this is not to slight or shade Candy. It actually has nothing to do with Candy and everything to do with me being shocked. Derek J got behind Candy and was judging his hair, and he had did some kind of 1-2 trick. Bitch, not the whole back, but a whole piece of Candy back fell out. I was like, oh my God, her rap is a fraud. Fast forward, my mama had to tell me at the time she wasn't doing nothing that women hadn't been doing since the beginning of time. It's just back then, women wore weaves in a more natural capacity. I went around and whirling out and told this whole damn story to illustrate the point that, Contessa, you need about a track and a half. You need a track for fullness back here, and then maybe if they could attach you one up to this top and flood out this bang a little bit, or you know how y'all go get the individual lashes, maybe they could put you some 6-inch individual bangs just right up here like this to the top, cause she was a little thin, mama, that wrap was a little thin. Or just say fuck it and spend $999 on some bundles like the rest of them hoes you on that show with and be done with it. But needless to say, Contessa, you know, I'm liking you. You definitely got the look. You definitely got the attitude. Y'all gonna have to help me out on this because I'm torn on the real reason why I rewatched the show is because I'm torn on what happened between that exchange with Contessa and Heavenly. So listen, after I watched it the first time, I was disappointed at Heavenly. I'm like, Heavenly, you're old, went to college and tried to play at your family and never would have made it ass. Now you in an opportunity where you're the it girl, and now you trying to haze people, and it's not cool. You being a mean girl. That was my first attitude when I watched it the first time. When I watched it the second time, I walked away feeling like when I watched it the second time, y'all, it's so funny because I had to get my thoughts together, what I want to say, so y'all can effectively understand what I'm saying. When I watched it the second time, I walked away from it feeling like Heavenly was more so playing, but because Contessa does not know her, she was unsure on how to process Heavenly's sense of humor. To Heavenly's credit, Contessa said, "Hi, how you doing? Yada, yada, yada. And what's your name?" Now, just follow me here. Here is where things get complicated. In that moment, Heavenly broke the fourth wall because she's like, bitch, you on a brand new show called Married to Medicine. Obviously, you've watched at least one season of this damn show. You're Toya's friend. You know my name. Okay? That's what Heavenly was thinking. Because Contessa is new, what I think Contessa did, which is what anybody would do, is pretended as if we're not filming a show, as if there's no show that exists, and I'm a new person in a new space being introduced to a new friend. And I think that's where the confusion was. But it's just weird because for Heavenly to go on and say, you know, oh, I was going to be nice to you or whatever, that is a little off-putting, Heavenly, especially considering your reputation on the show. You know what I'm saying? And you know, come on, Heavenly, you've been doing this show long enough. You know that Toya don't put any and everything about you already into Contessa's head, because that's what we do as friends. We talk about our friends. We talk about people to our friends. Let me tell you about this bitch with this bad attitude. So Heavenly, knowing that you know that people already come into this expecting you to be certain kind of way, you just playing right on into it. Now, what I didn't like, Heavenly, you was guilty of the very thing you accused them of doing, and you started to get very Nene Leakes-ish in the sense that you want to sit up and say whatever the hell you want to say to people, however the hell you want to say it. Then after you finish and you say your piece and they want to talk, you want to dial it back, and now it's, I don't have time to argue. I don't have time for this. I'm above it. I'm not doing it. But the time for you to have been above it and not have done it was before you opened your damn mouth. You walked your ass clean cross from that side of that table, got and said something to this woman. She was trying to get clarity from my perception. Maybe there was a whole other 3 minutes of conversation that they edited out. She was just saying, you know, Heavenly, what was it that you said? And I think Contessa was nice about it. She wasn't rude. She was just trying to get clarity. And Heavenly, I get what you were doing. You knew at that point in time Contessa was in an audition capacity. And you was like, bitch, I know you got an audition and I know you got to turn up, but bitch, you not finna use me to do it. Heavenly, you know how the game go because you know what all you went through to get on this damn show and what all you had to do and the antics that you play. Come on, girl. We know these teas. But I like you, though. And I still want you to do my crown. I'm trying to think what else went on. I'm going to tell you another thing. If I was Dr. Jackie and I know that my situation with Curtis is a big part of this season, I just don't know if I'd be fucking with y'all hoes that heavy after watching episode number 2. I've already been embarrassed down to the internet. I've already talked about it in the confessional. What y'all not finna do is set up every bitch on this damn show to be sitting around with their husband going in on a situation that's this damn painful. I think there are certain scandals as friends that we look at our friend in the face and say, all right, friend, you know we got to talk about this. We doing a show. Tell me what parts of this you don't want to talk about. Then there's other parts that I really wish somebody would have just stood up and said, I'm not going to add to the noise of my friend going through such a public humiliation. And I'm sorry. And this person is my friend. But the person that annoyed me the most with it was Quad. Quad was in the kitchen reading it. Oh, girl, just making it so salacious. And I get it. It's a fine line y'all have to toe. Y'all boss is telling y'all got to talk about it. But I really ain't like that. You know what I'm saying? I just really feel like if somebody was truly, truly, truly my friend, they should have reserved all scenes talking about that situation to when I was present and I wanted to talk about it so I could curate it or keep it to a minimum. That montage between, it's just weird because y'all do a fine job of picking and choosing when y'all want to be reality and real and when you want to be scripted and contrived. And it's funny because you pick them at the wrong damn times. This was the perfect time to be scripted and contrived. And I hope we do not make this entire season about Dr. Jackie, but I will say this. unapologetically, Jackie, the universe is going to be balanced. The universe may get out of whack and out of balance, but she don't stay that way for very long. I find it very karma-esque, although Jackie didn't do anything, or I find it a very full circle that Jackie tried to stay above the fray for 4 seasons prior to this. She stayed out of everything. She not in the drama. And then now you end up having like the biggest scandal of the damn show. That's simply called the universe recalibrating herself and bringing things into balance. So here's what it is, Jackie. As opposed to everybody else who had a little bit of drama, a little bit of drama, a little bit of drama each season that added up to a gallon of drama, you had absolutely no drama for 4 years and now you got a gallon of it in season 5. I'm not saying you deserve it. I'm not saying you did anything to get this on, but that's just the way it works. You not finna sit up in here on a platform that is, quite frankly, drama driven, completely stay out of it, and think you finna collect the same check that everybody else who had to put all their shit on Front Street collect. That ain't how that shit work. You know what I'm saying? It just ain't, and voluntarily or by force, you gonna do your part. And so, to all the other women that have been carrying the show for the first 4 seasons, particularly Mariah and Quad, and Heavenly came through and held up her end of the bargain and did what she had to do. Jackie, it's your turn to put in work and let somebody else sit back and coast and chill and let the drama be about somebody else for a season. And that's what this is. Now I'm gonna tell y'all one thing I love about Jackie. Jackie said, okay, if I gotta go through this, then let me do it. She ain't hiding from it. She owning it. She's approaching it head on, and she doing a good job. Cecil and Simone, I don't like to see y'all like that. I really don't. And I just got off the conversation with one of my homegirls the other day. Her and her boyfriend keep getting into it, and every time they get into it, he wanna holler about break up. I know we do that in relationships to get people's attention, but I don't think you should call that kind of energy into your marriage unless you truly mean it. If it's just a fight and you know that, okay, we gonna be over or we just hit a rough patch, keep that D word out your mouth. Toya and Eugene, y'all ain't having no real problems. Toya and Eugene, y'all Toya and Eugene, y'all just trying to keep this damn job, and it's so obvious. Y'all ain't going through shit. Yeah, y'all ain't hunching, but it ain't like y'all ain't hunching because y'all don't love each other. The man is tired, and Toya, you don't want to be gutted and sucker punched by that 400-pound walrus at 4 o'clock in the morning when he get in. Y'all ain't having no real problems. Y'all are over embellishing and exaggerating an area of your life that can be conceived as y'all having issues. Quad and her husband, y'all ain't having marital issues either. Y'all issues ain't marital, they're compatibility issues. And I ain't even finna go down that rabbit hole out of respect for my friendship with Quad, but y'all ain't, the issues that y'all having, in my opinion, they're not marriage related. They are life changes and dynamic shifting related. Y'all got married and the dynamic was one thing. Throughout the marriage, some things have changed and the dynamics are shifting, and y'all having a hard time calibrating to the new world order. That's what that is. Yeah. Married to Medicine, y'all ain't give me a whole lot this episode, but I got a feeling it's coming. Unlike the Housewives, there's still a lot of twists and turns with y'all that we have not experienced yet. So, this getting lengthy. I'm finna get on out of here. I got some more videos I want to record talking about Donna Brazile and Tyrese. I know I'm late to the party. And I'll call y'all hoes later. Bye.